What's up, guys? Higgy Pop. Thanks for joining me in the comic room. Here we are. All right. I went to my local comic shop today, and I picked up some comics, and I want to show you what I got. All right. Okay, I went, and DC Comics came out today, and I picked up my weekly poll. But I also got something in the mail yesterday, and I waited till today. I was waiting all day. I want to open it. Here we are. Get my letter opener. Give me. All right. There it is. Came in the mail yesterday. Come on. Ooh. We'll get it. All right. Wench, oil that. I'm only kidding. You're a nice girl. Get me an ale. Thank you. See what we got. What's up, guys? I'm glad I did that tour of the comic room the other day. That was a good time. That was because I always love when other guys do tours of the comic rooms, and I find it completely interesting, and I just thought that would be cool. Can't believe I didn't think of it. Thank you, Lead Paint. And nothing original here. Everything, there's not an original thought. Everything that was in my room is borrowed from someone else. And yes, issued. I have Silver Age Atom, issue number 38. All right. This is the last issue of the run. Then it turns into Atom and the Hawkman. All right. So, this is cool. It's in pretty good shape. I give it a Mez plus. Sinister, Stop Over Earth. That's it, man. It's in pretty good shape. Nice. I need it. And this was on the cheap. I don't get anything expensive, man. It's just been ingrained in my blood. I mean, I remember I was a young tyke. I was probably like 12 or something, and my older cousins and a brother of mine were going to a comic book convention. This was like unheard of back in the day. And it was obviously my first comic book convention, and I was only strictly into Conan. Back in the day, I had a fascination with Conan, and I had my paper route. I had all my paper route money, and I went to the comic book convention, and I bought Conan issue number 2. And for me back then, it was a lot. It's still more money I'd even pay today. It was like, I think it was like close to $50 I paid for this as a little kid. And I went home, and my dad goes, yeah, what'd you get? I said, I got this. It was a Conan number 2. I was so happy. He goes, how much you pay for it? I said, $50. I thought I think he actually ripped out my spine and started combing his hair with it. So I don't pay a lot of money for things, believe me. That's why they're in such wonderful shape. This is cool. This is good, though. This is nice. Yeah, well, it's a little rough. Inks by George Rousseau. Story by Frank Robbins. Nice. I can't wait to read it. The Atom. Yeah, this is the last issue of the run. All right. I need it like the air I breathe. Let's see. Let me get a little more info on this. Let's see. This was back in 79. March 3rd of 79. Those were the days. All right. Glad to have it. And I went and picked up Cyborg, issue number 1. All together now. Booyah! I read this already. I read it. All right? And it was decent. I say that. He's got a different look now. You see he's sporting a little jacket and some trousers. But it's a pretty cool story. Victor Stone and is doing his thing. He's trying to etch out a part of his life here. So we got the old Teen Titans enemies here, Mammoth and Gizmo. All right, they're on the scene. So this takes place in Detroit, Michigan, and Gizmo and Mammoth, they're up to no good. I forgot what the heck they're even doing. I think they're planting bombs in the park. Okay, and then they're like, I thought Cyborg was out of town. And Cyborg's like, listen, I have a boom tube welded into half of my body. I could be anywhere at any time, you dummy. And he takes care of these guys real quick. And he zaps Gizmo right into jail, teleports him over there, and he knocks Mammoth right out, knocks his chiclets out of his face. And the whole time he's fighting Cyborg, he's getting incoming calls. He's like, yo, I'm fighting. Leave me alone. And this girl tells him, your father died, you know. So he's like, what the heck, you know? And his father was a bigwig at the, what the heck is that name of that lab there? And they go over, you know, Cyborg's story. You know, he's a big football star before the accident happened, and his dad turned him into half cyborg to save his life. Come on now. Cyborg still doesn't know how he feels about that. The Teen Titans come and give him at the wake in the funeral. They're like, hey, Cyborg, sorry for your loss. Cyborg's like, thank you. And then he goes to his dad's house to go through things, and all of a sudden, a cyborg comes walking in through the front door, a weird-looking cyborg, and Cyborg's like, who's that? And they have a standoff, right? And it turns out the cyborg is his father. He's like, let's talk. So that's the first issue. All right. And I also got Superman, The Dawn of DC, issue number 4, cut down by the Kryptonite Claw. I did not read that yet. I'll let you know. And I got World's Finest, issue number 15. This is an ongoing story. I didn't read it yet. This is a Metamorpho is in this storyline right now. I will let you know how that goes. Then I got a goodie, yeah. Batman Detective Comics, 466. I saw this and it was in such good shape. I says, I gotta get it, man. Boom. Look at that. See what I'm saying? Look at that. That's in great shape. The Signal Man and Batman are fighting, right? And then in this fight, the Signal Man, I read this. The art is fantastic. This is December of '76, and Ernie Chan and Vince Coletta. Great art, and Len Wein is the writer, and the Signal Man takes over the bat signal, right? And he actually traps Batman inside the bat signal, the bat light, and Batman crashes out. And the second story is with Elongated Man and Green Arrow, which is a fun story because they're fighting the Calculator, okay? The Calculator they're at a baseball game, and a Green Arrow is there as the Green Arrow to throw out the opening pitch. And he's throwing out the opening pitch, and the ball keeps on disappearing. And it's the Calculator. He's got some sort of gizmo on his head, and so now they're fighting the Calculator. And he's throwing out the opening pitch, and he's throwing out the opening pitch with an arrow. I mean, yeah, who's gonna catch that? I got it! Oh my god! And so Elongated Man is there, Digby, my man. And they're fighting. They're trying to get the Calculator. And the Calculator, this is the Calculator. He's got that gizmo on his head there. So, all in all, this is how they defeat him. Green Arrow, throwing arrows. Nothing's happening. And then he grabs Elongated Man, and he makes Elongated Man a giant bow. Elongated Man turns into the bow, and Green Arrow makes himself an arrow, and he shoots himself at the Calculator and knocks him out. Classic. But if you look over here, next week, the next month, the next issue features Hawkman fighting the Calculator. Now I got to get issue 467. I got something to hunt for. This is good. And I want to get back to you guys with this. This is Uh, this is a graphic novel I picked up. And I told you I was going to read it. This is the Scorpio Connection. This is Nick Fury and Wolverine teaming up. I finished reading it last night. And it was a fun story. And the art is great. The art is great. And the writer is Archie Goodwin, and Howard Chaykin is the artist. And the story goes, there's this guy, this villain, the Scorpio, all right? And the Shield is on the case. Scorpio's out there doing bad things. And it turns out Scorpio is Nick Fury's nephew. That's what he thinks. It's Nick Fury's nephew because his brother, Nick Fury's brother, Jake, met this woman who's got Scorpio, which is Scorpio's mother. The woman is Scorpio's mother. She's pulling the strings, and she brainwashed him to hate Nick Fury. Hate Nick Fury because he killed your father. All right? So this Scorpio kid, he has this secret weapon that's like got this like it shoots a ray and it's destroying things. And he's been training his whole life. He hates Nick Fury, and they're gonna take down all these banks and stuff, make money and all this stuff, and get secret codes from Shield, shut down Shield. That's what Scorpio and his mother are planning to do. But Wolverine comes into the picture because this Scorpio guy killed Wolverine's CIA asset that he was buddies with, and so he's like, I'm in it, Nick Fury. You can't get rid of me. And this is a Scorpio character. This is him. All right, he's got that weapon. It looks like you remember Prince, the singer, when he changed his name into a symbol? That's what the weapon looks like. That's what it looks like. So he's out there. He's karate chopping palm trees, and that's his mother right there, the one in the bikini. Not bad. So, anyways, they go through all this mess trying to track this kid down, him and his mother, and him and the mother are always one step ahead of him. And Nick Fury, he gets into a couple scrapes with him, and the kid keeps escaping. And then it turns out at the very last, Wolverine's like, you're mentally, get your head in the game, Nick, because, I don't care if it's your nephew. This kid's dangerous, right? And then, so they have the last showdown, and Nick Fury's about to, kill the kid, and he's got the kid and the mother cornered, right? And then the mother goes, Nick, it's not your brother's son. It's your son, Nick. Oh, bah, bah, bah. Right? So now Nick Fury's head is all messed up. But they go back and forth, and there's the mother. She ends up dying because she got a little too crazy, and she got taken out. And now Wolverine is tackling the kid, and the kid's just not stopping. And so Nick Fury shoots the kid, only clips him, hits him in the shoulder, but then the kid won't stop. Before the mother dies, the mother picks up the weapon and starts going crazy. That's when they had to kill her. And then the kid has one last go at it, and Wolverine claws him a little bit, takes him down, and then that's it. They take the kid into custody. The kid's still alive, and Nick's like, tells the kid, hey, maybe we'll do dinner sometime. Maybe pass the ball, play catch. But that's it, They leave on fun terms. They're like, hey, Wolverine's like, hey, how are you? I'll see you later. All right. Good story, though. It was a good read. It had me riveted. So, that's what I had, man. That's what I got. But I was going through my box of the A's, and I came across Aztec. You guys know who Aztec is, or do you remember who Aztec is? All right. Grant Morrison came up with a character that he created, him and Mark Millar. They said, we're going to create our own character. And they finally got a chance to bring it to fruition. They brought it to comic books in 1996, all right? And Aztec is named that because there's an Aztec god called Quetzalcoatl, all right? And Quetzalcoatl, Aztec is the champion of Quetzalcoatl, all right? And there's a society called the Society of Q, all right? and they have a prophecy that the world needs this champion of Quetzalcoatl, and when the time comes, Aztec is going to save the world. That's the legend. So every generation they train someone, they pick someone and they train them to become Aztec, and it has a super suit, and what it does is it manipulates dimensional energy. It makes him super strong, super fast. He could turn invisible, and the helmet's great. He could like see like through buildings and get the schematics of things, and it's great. He's actually a great idea for a character, and the pencils in this series are done by this guy called Steve Harris, I think. Yeah, Steve Harris. And I love the art. The art, because you could tell what the heck is going on. All the characters are drawn great. And but what ends up happening is he ends up in the story of Aztec throughout the end there. He actually joins the Justice League, and in the end, and there's Grant Morrison was writing the Justice League at the time, so he said, I'm going to put Aztec in the Justice League. And there was in the series of like World War III, there was Megadon was attacking, and it turns out the prophecy that the Mayans and the Society Q were talking about was the Megadon, and Q actually saves the day. He saved the day so Superman could take out Megadon. He sacrificed his own life, and he ended up dying. So that's a very heroic. He's a great hero. But in this series, this series was fun. Back in the day, I said, I didn't spend a lot of money, like I said, on comics, but I saw this, and I was able to get this whole series pretty quick, 1 through 10. It starts in August of '96. And this is it, man. And the first story, Grant Morrison, he could be weird, but he wrote this. He's very, very crafty. This is a guy in story number 1. This is a guy. It turns out he's an ex-villain, and he has to go do a robbery. I forgot what his name is. He's called the Piper, okay? And he's all out of shape, but these money lenders or something. He got himself into a jam, so they kidnapped his daughter. So he's like, I gotta go do a heist. So he goes to do a heist, and they show here's where he is. Aztec's on the scene. He's in a city called Vanity. The city he is in is called Vanity, and so he's working the streets, and he can fly. He's got the flight, and there's a bank robbery, and it's this guy Piper. You see, he's all chubby and out of shape, but he does the robbery, and he takes the cops out with this gas bomb. But then all of a sudden, before Aztec could get there, there's this guy, this vigilante shows up. His name is Blood Type. He's like, I'm here. And he starts trashing this guy, Piper, this out-of-shape villain, and he starts trashing him, beating him into a pulp, right? Now he's going to finish him off and shoot him, and then Aztec shows up. It's like, whoa, guy. You got to go easy. And this guy, Blood Type's like, he's poking him in the chest. He's like, hey, who are you? So then he has to take out Blood Type. Right? He incapacitates him, punches him through a wall, this and that. Then all of a sudden, but all the damage to the structure of the building, all of a sudden, Aztec feels bad about this. The whole place goes up in an explosion. And that guy, Blood Type, is like, he lost a leg and arm, and he feels bad. So this is Blood Type sitting on the stretcher. So he ends up going to the hospital as Aztec in normal clothes. And anyways, when he's at the hospital, he ends up taking the identity of a doctor, right? This doctor who passed away called Kurt Falconer. And now Aztec has been trained by Society Q in all sorts of all different things. So he knows how to be a surgeon, a doctor. So he's like, I'm Kurt Falconer. And he starts working at the hospital. That's his identity. All right. Here's issue number 2. He teams up with Kyle Rayner and fights Major Force. That was a good time. Here's issue number 3. This girl is called Death Doll. He ends up scrapping with her. And issue number 4. This was such a fun series to read. I swear to God. You're like, Aztec, hey, come on. And this is a fun. Then it turned into this is issue number 5. That guy's called Death Trap. Okay, and he convinces Aztec he kidnaps someone, and his girlfriend. Aztec gets a girlfriend from the hospital. She's a nurse, and he's like, I got her here. You got to meet me. So he meets him, and the guy, all this guy wants is the helmet. Give me your helmet, right? He wants the technology, and then during the story, Aztec gives him the helmet, and the guy puts it on, and his head blows off, like the movie Scanners, right? And what happens was every memory, every thought that from every generation that wore that helmet was in that helmet, and the guy couldn't take it, and his head blew up. Whoa! So that's issue number 5. Okay. And now we get fun till my daddy took my T-Bird away. Issue number 6, the Joker. This is a very well written storyline. The Joker comes in and he's got Aztec running all over the place. Aztec doesn't know his ass from his keister elbow. He's all in a knot. Joker's really smart, right? So he's got all sorts of things going on. Joker's like, who's this Aztec character in Vanity City? But the newspapers in Vanity City gave Aztec his name. He's like, this guy, he's like a Mayan type of thing. Let's call him Aztec. And it stuck. And now, issue number 7, Batman comes into play. Batman, he's a real charmer. He's always laughing, carrying on. He's a jokester, So he helps him out with the Joker thing. He's like, this is how the Joker works. He's crazy. Issue number 8, In the Grip of the Invisible Hand. This is like, it has to do with that whole Q society, and people are trying to, there's a lot of like CIA type of stuff in this. And issue number 9, Smashed by the Parasite. All right. I'm telling you guys, this was a fun read if you want to get the series. Because at the end, he gets initiated. He gets initiated into the Justice League. He saves the day. All right. There's a Professor Ivo. He's got some secret, you know how Ivo makes those androids and stuff. And he's got the Justice League on the ropes. He's got them on the ropes. But Aztec saves it. And they have, they're trying to spruce up the roster, the Justice League. And they have a bunch of candidates. There's all the candidates that are trying, there's a Speedster, there's Supergirl, there's Green Arrow's son, there's what's his name? Steel. And there's Superboy. These are people that want to get on the Justice League. And because of Aztec being the superhero that he is, and he's got great morals and everything. He was a great superhero. And there's the Justice League. He's saving the day, man. And he's like, I'm so nervous. I've never been so nervous. He's talking to the Flash. Him and the Flash become pals. The Flash is like, don't be nervous, buddy. Justice League rocks, buddy. And he gets in. That's our boy Aztec. And that's where it takes off, where the storyline turns into the Grant Morrison run on Justice League. And they fight Megadon, entering into World War III, the storyline. And Aztec sacrifices his life for us, so Superman can defeat Megadon. And he's gone, but not forgotten. Aztec. Read your comics, because they make you smart.